Welcome to another episode of Estate Planning with Eugene. Today, I'm going to share with you one very important trick of CPF nomination. Well, based on a recent research, there is at least 462.1 billion amount of CPF amongst CPF holders in Singapore. That is a huge amount. And I've been getting a lot of questions from clients asking me, Eugene, can we include our CPF in our will or trust? The answer is no. Whether or not you have done a will or not, CPF nomination is to be done separately. So here is the thing. If you observe clearly, in a typical will, you can actually nominate your will to somebody, let's say your kids, and you can add a layer of a substitute beneficiary, right? But the key question here in a CPF nomination is that as I flip the form, I realized that one key difference compared to a will is that there is no allowance or there's no extra section for someone to actually indicate a substitute nominee. Which means, should the person that you have nominated passes on before you, or worse, in a common disaster, that CPF nomination would have been deemed to be void. And it's interesting, you can have a substitute nomination in your will, but not in a CPF nomination. So here's the trick, don't miss this. What you could possibly do is to nominate 99% to an individual. Say, for example, I would nominate 99% to my spouse, and the other 1% I would nominate to someone else, perhaps my parents or my sisters, my siblings, if there is a common disaster between my wife and myself. Well, in pre-COVID days, people do travel together, families travel together. So it is vital important to make sure that we cater for scenarios like that of a common disaster, even in our CPF nomination. So what happens when we have a 99% to my spouse and the other percent to my parents, which means that if the first nominee is no longer around, the 99% will automatically flow to my parents or to my siblings. If we don't do that, one common risk is that the entire CPF balance will be handed over to the public trustee, and when it is with the public trustee will actually distribute based on the Interstate Succession Act, which basically means that you have no say how you want your CPF money to be distributed. Well, so hope that you have learned this simple technique of 99 and 1% distribution with regard to your CPF nomination. Now, a common question that I always get when I'm conducting seminars or webinars is this: Eugene, what happens if you go together on a holiday and the main nominees and the substitute nominees all have a common disaster together? So how? And here's my reply. I would normally advise that instead of a 99% and 1%, you could actually do it in a way of a 98% to your main nominee, have 1% to maybe your parents, another 1% to somebody in a family that you know you will never travel with. And in that sense, you have created a substitute nominee in a CPF nomination. Well, if you enjoyed this CPF nomination video, do click on the next video, part 2, where I will share with you, in fact, how can you actually do so practically.